Hello, guys. This is Becca, and I am here for Rocking with Becca. If you don't know what Rocking with Becca is, it's a video I do on Saturdays. Uh, I try to do every Saturday that where I sit in my rocking chair, rocking a baby, and we just chat mostly. Uh, I share with you the baby of the day. I do usually do a shout out for a channel that is under has under 1,000 subscribers, and then we usually talk about something. Sometimes we have a particular topic that we talk about. Sometimes we just talk. Sometimes we just talk. So I want to say right off, Rocking with Becca is usually a lengthy video, so it would be a good time for you to pause the video and go grab you a cup of coffee or hot tea or a cold glass of sweet tea. Sorry about that. Or a soda, or whatever it is that you would like uh, to drink. A matter of fact, I'm going to take this time because I forgot something. Uh, this is a typical Rockin' with Becca, but yet it's gonna be a little different. So just go ahead and pause the video here and go get you something to drink and get settled and ready to sit back and relax and see what's going on today. But I do have to pause the video because I forgot something. Sorry about that, guys, but I forgot something very important and I had to go get it. So, I was saying that it's a typical Rockin' with Becca, but yet it's a little different. It's typical because we're going to be doing all the things. The shout outs, the baby of the day, and all of this. I am adding, okay, I also have been incorporating in my Rockin' with Becca videos the Saturday theme that's hosted by Alicia at Binkies and Binkies and Blankies Nursery, called Small Dolls and Stuffy Saturday. I've been incorporating that in my Rockin' with Becca videos, so we'll be doing that today also. This, I have quite a few times said I didn't think the video would be as long, and it ended up being as long or longer. But today I feel like this video might be a little lengthy, so it probably will go its full hour. So just warning you of that. Feel free to just watch it at your leisure when you can. Watch 15 minutes at the time of it. Or however you can watch it. Turn it on in the background and listen while you're doing something. However you need to do it. Feel free to do it that way. I do have a couple of things I want to talk about. But let's go ahead and do, feature doll. I think I started to say that and didn't. I'm going to be doing feature doll with the baby of the day. Um, I want to stay on my schedule of featured dolls. And if I manage to stay on the schedule, Tuesday will be my last day for featured doll in this session of featured dolls. Um, later on down the line, I may do it again. Um, if a lot of babies go in and out, I may do the featured doll again later on. A year or so later. Uh, just, just whatever I have learned, and I say I've learned it, but yet I struggle with it sometimes. But I have learned to just take things as they come and just try to stay calm and try to just deal with what's coming, or what I'm going through at the moment. It's not easy. I'm not always successful, but I know that's the way I need to do it. Um, it's just take life one day at a time and take each day one moment at a time. Whatever it brings me, whatever life brings me, I try to do that. And not always successful, but I do try. But let's get into the baby of the day. Who is our baby of the day? It's this sweet little girl right here in my arms. She is our baby of the day, and I'm gonna give you her information. That's what I forgot. Had to go back and get. I'm gonna give you her information, and then I will show you what she looks like. You've seen her many times because she's been in my nursery for quite a while. But her kit is the Everly Kit by Denise Pratt, and I named her Everly Joy. I left her kit name and just gave her the middle name of Joy. So she's my Everly Joy. Now, I can't figure this out, but she measures to be 19 inches long. But she's a preemie. She wears preemie clothes. I don't know how that works, but when I measured her, she's just slightly under 19. She's somewhere between 18 and 19, in between that area. It might actually be like 18 and a half inches long. But she is in that area, and I thought she would be more like 17 inches because of how little she is. But I laid her up there where I put all my other dolls, and she measured as 18 and a half inches long. I was shocked. She weighs 3 pounds and 14 ounces, almost 4 pounds. And I adopted her from a Castle in the Sky Reborns, and that is Susie James. She's my friend that I got Emmy from. A couple of videos back, I did the featured doll for Emmy, and so Everly was a trade, just like Emmy was. Everly was a trade. I traded one of my reborns for Everly. And I have had her in my nursery since March 6th of 2023. So she's been in my nursery for a couple of years. And I do love her. She's so sweet. So now let me show you Everly. I put her on a little Minnie Mouse little pants and a onesie this morning. It's kind of like a cream colored background. It has little Minnie Mouse heads all over it, and Minnie Mouse has a pink bow. So I gave Everly a pink bow to match Minnie Mouse, and then she has on some little socks that looks like Mary Jane's. They're white, but then they have like the Mary Jane shoes in pink. So she's all dressed up. for Rocking with Becca and for Feature Doll. And so I'm just going to hold her a little while and we're going to talk. I will be stopping to get some coffee along the way. I need it this morning. So, we're going to kind of have two shout outs today. I'm going to go ahead and I started not to do this shout out, but I had Rocking with Becca all planned. I had my shout out that I was going to do a shout out. I had my topic that I was going to talk on. And things were just not going right this morning. I say right. It wasn't wrong. It was just out of my schedule of the way I have things planned. And when that happens, it throws me off. And so in my process of waiting for hubby to get back with things that he needed to go get for me and stuff like that, I went ahead and did a video earlier this morning. So if you haven't seen that video, it's a twinning video that I've done with Ren at Bushel and a Pet Nursery. Go watch that one if you haven't seen it yet. But in the process, I knew that, if I started rocking with Becca, he would come in the middle of it and disturb me. And so I was waiting on him to start this video. Well, while I was waiting, I was watching other videos. And so I started watching one, and she talked on something, and we'll get into that in a minute. So she's going to be my second shout out for today. But the first shout out is a channel that I don't know if I could say that I've just recently subscribed to her, because sometimes I'll go on YouTube and just put in reborn doll videos, and then I'll look through them, and if one looks interesting, and if I'm not subscribed to them, I'll subscribe to them. I may not actually watch the video at that moment, and then sometimes it's a while before I get back to that video, to that channel. So as you know, on my shout outs, I'm going alphabetical order through my people I am subscribed to, and people that are channels that are under 1,000 subscribers. I shout out one each Saturday. So I'm in the letter L, and so I was looking this morning to find, the next channel under L that was under 1,000 subscribers. So I come across this one, and I am subscribed to her, but I can't say that I have watched her videos before this morning. I did watch her latest video this morning, and it was very interesting. I enjoyed it. So I thought I would go ahead and shout her out. Maybe you could go over and check out her channel and see if she would be someone you would be interested in watching. Her channel name is Little Honey Bums Doll Nursery. I will have her link in the title, so you can go check her out. She only has 787 subscribers. So maybe you could go help her out if you're not subscribed to her, and subscribe and help her reach her goal. She has not, in the video I watched this morning, she didn't mention a goal or anything. And how many subscribers, it's just, I know, the more subscribers you have, the more friends you have to talk with. So, yeah, maybe you could go check her out and subscribe to her. A little later on, we'll be doing the Small Doll and Stuffy Saturday. I'll be sharing with you who I have for that. And so, but right now we're going to go ahead and get into my topic, or what I want to talk about, and I'm going to give the second person a shout out here. But I'm going to write down, oh my goodness, I'm going to read to you what I had wrote down before I ever watched the video that I'm talking about, that I'm going to shout out in just a minute. This is what I had wrote down for my topic to talk about. Talk about my mental health, and then I have a suggestion. I mentioned last week on Rockin' with Becca that if you had any questions or any topics or anything you wanted us to talk about in Rockin' with Becca, to leave it in the comments. And I got a couple of comments, and one of them was, talk about how dolls help people. And that suggestion was by my dear friend Tanya. I will try to remember to put Tanya's link in the description, as well as Leisha's link. Leisha is the one that hosts the Small Dolls and Stuffy Saturday. I will try to remember to put her link in the description. And then I'm going to try to fit the second shout out in the title. If I can get it in the title, that's where it will be. If not, it will be in the description also. So, the second shout out, I have just I don't think it was just recently. It's been several Rockin' Rebecca videos ago that I gave her a shout out. But her channel name is Barbie and Baby Nursery? Barbie and Baby Dolls? I can't remember. Her link will be in the title or the description. You probably know her as Becca. I think her channel name used to just be her name, Becca, and her last name. But now it's Barbies and Baby something. I can't remember. I don't know if it's Barbies and Baby Dolls. But like I said, it will be right in the title or the description, wherever I can get it. But the reason I'm giving her a shout out, like I said, these things I just read to you, I had wrote down before I watched her video. But I was watching her video this morning, and she talks about mental health. And I have mental health wrote down to talk about. So if you'd like to go over and watch Becca's video and see what she had to say about mental health. And she went through twice a situation I went through, which was a miscarriage. And miscarriages are not fun. You know, and if they're early miscarriage, early in the pregnancy, people think that they don't affect you. But they do. They do affect you. I'll never forget my miscarriage. It was around December. And it was not fun. It was not fun. It was a horrible experience, and I will never forget it. It affected me so bad that I never would even try again to have another baby. I was too scared of the miscarriage. I was scared of miscarrying again. And of course, I had already had 2 children before I had my first miscarriage, or my only miscarriage, because I didn't try again after that. Um, but Becca was talking about her mental health and different things that has happened around the fall season of the year and how it affects her. And so I wanted to, which, like I said, I already had it down to talk about my mental health. Um, I'm struggling today. I'm really struggling. Um, Becca talks about that she's getting help for her situation, that she's on medication and she does therapy. Well, I'm on medication, but I'm not on therapy. And I have really, really, really wanted to get some therapy. I feel like therapy would be a great help to me. I wouldn't want to have to go to the therapist. I would rather have an online therapist, so I wouldn't have to leave my house. Um, I've heard a lot about better health, but I don't. I've just heard different ads and things about better health. Um, it's a therapy that you can get online. I have really felt like I needed therapy, that I needed someone that I could just open up to without them being connected to me in any way. Um, but I've come from a long line of not necessarily just family, but upbringing and um, I really hesitate to say this, but the churches I've been to didn't really support that type of thing. I'm really hesitant of how to say this. Um, they felt like that you should be able to pray and get help from God, and I agree 100%. You should be able to pray and get help from God. But if you don't have the faith, and I don't know how to put it, but I've just never had the opportunity, actually never even thought until the past few years, even considered getting help, because it was just not something that you did, you know. Um, it was just considered something that you should, when you have mental problems, you should be able to reach God, pray through, reach God, and get help that way. And it just wasn't a thing, that you was even considered doing. I'm not downing them. I'm not criticizing. I'm just telling you where I'm at and what I've been through. Um, my situation is not all my miscarriage. I've been through a lot of things through my life, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of things that I've talked about before that I didn't even realize what was wrong and what was happening and what to call it. And I have been told all my life, if I didn't get a hold of myself, that I was going to end up in a mental institution. My mom has told me that all my life. I had an aunt, she's passed now, but she had back then we called it nervous problems. Uh, they didn't call it uh, anxiety or uh, mental disorders, or it was a nervous problem. You had bad nerves, and was always on the brink of a nervous breakdown, is the way they would put it, and things like that. Um, and all my life, like I said, all my life I've had anxiety, but nothing was ever done about it. I didn't myself know what to do about it, even after becoming an adult. Um, and again, like I said, it just wasn't a thing you did in the churches that I went to. Um, and all my life, my mama would tell me whenever I would have a bad anxiety attack, which was called nerves. You know, you're having my nerves is bothering me. I'm having is the way we would put it. And Mama would say, if you don't get a hold of yourself, you're going to end up in a mental institution. And she's told me that all my life. I've had to deal with that all my life. She's even told me that since I've been married and grown and as old as I am. And I've dealt with hearing that all my life. Uh, and then just a lot of other things. And because I don't really understand therapy, because I've never had that opportunity or even considered it, I get to thinking, what good is therapy going to do? Me just simply, what can they do? Me just simply telling them what I'm feeling. Is it worth it? What can they do for me? Because I don't understand therapy, which is probably what the churches that I went to probably just didn't understand therapy. I don't know. But uh, even to right now, I don't really understand. I wish someone could help me. Maybe Becca could help me. Um, what exactly is therapy? I know you talk to someone, but you know, what does it do? What's it for? What does it help? And another thing, how do I go about getting the right help that I need? Um, I I'm dealing with fibro, and fibro does a lot of things to your body. Um, it causes depression, it causes anxiety, it causes pain, and that within itself causes anxiety. Uh, People don't understand me because I want to just be at home. Um, so I have to deal with comments and things. I've caused havoc in the church my husband's pastoring because I don't go to church. It's caused contention and trouble for him. Um, I say I say he's pastoring. I guess you would still consider him pastor. He told him he was going to resign, and he's been trying to find somebody to come take the church, but we haven't found anybody yet. So he told him he wouldn't just leave them high and dry, that he would be with them until he could find somebody else. So he's still preaching. I don't know how he can do that, but especially with, you know, and I hate that. If he would have decided on his own that he's ready to resign, and, that would be one thing, but he resigned because of me. I didn't go into details when I told y'all a few videos back about him resigning. Or maybe I did, I can't remember. but decided to resign because of me not going to church and it causing the contention in the church, and people saying they're going to leave because of it, and that I should come to church if I had to come in a wheelchair. Well, I'm not going because I'm not physically able. Yes, I hurt when I get there. I'm miserable sitting on the pews as far as in my body's concerned, but the main reason I go is mental. I just don't want to deal with the people. And I've caused my husband to have to resign before he was ready to. Well, like I said, he's still preaching because he told him he wasn't going to just leave him without a pastor. And he's still looking for someone. He's talked to several people and he hadn't found anybody interested in it. And he's still looking. But I've told y'all, maybe this is what therapy is. Except for maybe the therapist could give me some advice and help. You know, I don't know. But this morning, the past couple of weeks, the past couple of months has been just way out of what I've been, my regular, what I like things to be. And especially last week, I had visitors 2 different days. And then I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. Was it yesterday? Thursday. I had a doctor's appointment Thursday. So the past 2 weeks has been very stressful. Very stressful. And then I get stressed out. My anxiety starts working whenever I get to hurting so bad that I can't do things I enjoy, that I can't do my crafting, or I can't come in here and change my babies and, be with my babies. It causes me anxiety, and I get so frustrated because my body just won't keep up with what I want to do. And my body won't even keep up with a fourth of what I used to be able to do. And it gets so frustrating and so aggravating, and it causes anxiety and stress to just peak during that time whenever I'm hurting. And so this morning it was kind of like that. Things just seem to be going haywire, not going in the lineup, the sequence, the whatever you want to call it. Like I like my day to go, and I was kind of getting really stressed out. Anxiety was rising, and so I said, look, Becca, you have got to just take the day as it comes. Take it 1 minute at a time. Just take a deep breath and do what you can do, and leave what you can't do undone. Just leave it undone. Don't try to do more than what you're able to do. But you see, my mind is still wanting to be active. It's still wanting to do all the crafts and all the collabs and the crafts that in the craft community. There's so many different collabs, and I want to participate in them all, and I don't have the energy. And it frustrates me. And then I want to participate in all the different collabs in the doll community, and I just don't have the energy. I just don't have it. And it gets frustrating. And it gets aggravating. And it causes my anxiety to rise. So I've been trying today. I'm just exhausted. I'm just exhausted from the 2 different days last week, last Thursday and last Saturday. Um, Having visitors, and you might say, well, that was last week. You should be over it. No, it don't work that way. Uh, I was trying to recoup from all of that, and then I had to go to the doctor's Thursday, and it's just been one thing after another, one thing after another. And when I get really exhausted, I get depressed. I get to feeling down and out. I get to feeling like crying. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Uh, I'm kind of dealing with a little bit of depression. I wished I knew how to go about getting some therapy online. I wish, if anyone has any suggestions, I'd love to read them, and see what I could do about them. Plus, I'm scared, guys. Like I said, all my life it's been said that, you know, it's like you're sinning if you go get mental help for your mental health. You can go to the doctor for diabetes and high blood pressure and any other thing in your body, but when it comes to your mental health, you was supposed to only go to God and not go get help. It's kind of like you was sinning if you went and got help. And I don't mean, like I said, I am not putting down the churches or the people, or I'm not criticizing. Maybe they don't understand. Maybe I don't know. But I'm scared. I want help, but I'm scared to get it. And I don't know how to go about getting it. Maybe I need to talk to my primary care doctor and see what she says. I don't know what I need to do. I really don't know what I need to do. But I have this nagging feeling that it would help me if I had a therapist that I could talk to. But, I've never done that before. Never known of anyone personally that has. Even my aunt that had problems didn't, that I know of, get any kind of mental health other than just, through her primary care doctor, taking medication. Um, I'm a little fearful because I don't know what to expect. I don't know what it all consists of. Uh, what would they do to help me? Do I just, of course, I know they would lead me, but, do I just tell them what I'm going through and they just listen? What exactly is therapy? What exactly is therapy? To get mental health therapy. I don't know, but I need something. And it's just one of those days. And see, that's the way I always brush it off, it's just one of those days. This too shall pass. And I just go on about my business and try to deal with it the best I know how. But the question from Tanya that she left for us to talk about kind of goes along in a way with this. She said, talk about how dolls help people. If you are new to the doll community, and maybe not understand everything about it, Maybe you're in dolls just simply for the pleasure of changing them and admiring their artwork and um, just for the art of the doll. Then you might not understand those that has the dolls for therapy, I guess you could say. Now, I did not start out because of that reason. I started out simply because I saw other people on YouTube with reborns, and I thought they were gorgeous, and it was just amazing how much how realistic some of them looked, and I got into it for just the pure joy of the art and having, you know, kind of having like a baby around the house that I could change. And um, but from there, I realized how having the babies helped me. Um, just holding them in my arms does wonders when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling bad. Um, just to pick up one of the babies and snuggle with it kind of makes it feel like you have, even though I know this is a doll, I don't think this is real. I'm not to that point of being crazy yet that I'm thinking I'm holding a live baby. No, I know it's a doll, but uh, I forgot the name of the word I'm trying to think of. Sorry. Um, Studies have shown that picking up a doll or stuffed animal or anything like that that you would pick up and snuggle brings out a certain hormone, and I should have looked up the name of that hormone, and I know some of you are going to put it in the comments below. I'm sorry I can't remember it. Hey guys, I'm doing good. Let me turn this alarm off. I'm doing good to remember my name this morning. Um, but studies have proven that holding a reborn doll or even a stuffed animal um, or even a weighted blanket um, it's like a comfort. And you'll see advertised these ads over YouTube, and it'll come up different ads, and some of them are weighted dolls, some of them are weighted blankets, some of them are weighted stuffed animals. Um, they're used for people that has anxiety, that when that weight, there's something about that weight and the snuggling of it. It's like a comfort, like a child carries around its comfort blanket. It's kind of like a comfort, and I've realized that my dolls help me so much. They're not God. They don't heal me. I don't think they're God. I don't idolize them, you know, but they're comfort. Just like if you're in the hospital, if you recall, if you've ever been in the hospital, they'll lay a heavy warm blanket over you. You know what that's for? It's for comfort. It's to take away some of your anxiety. It it just kind of calms you. May not completely take away your anxiety, but that that heavy warm blanket comforts you and kind of calms you. And so that's the same thing my babies do for me. When I'm feeling all down and out and depressed, and no, it don't take away that depression. It don't take away that feeling. They're not a healing mechanism. They're not God. But having the babies in my arms kind of calms me a little bit, kind of comforts me. It's like having a weighted blanket, a warm weighted blanket in the hospital. Just kind of calms me. And although I did not start out collecting reborns for that reason, as I have collected and had them, I've realized what they do for me, you know, the comfort they give me. And so now that's why I continue, not only because I just love my babies and I just love sitting here looking at them, you know, the beauty of the artwork and all. It's not the only reason, but it is a major reason of why, one of the major reasons of why I'm continuing to collect. So that's really basically, I guess I just needed to talk. I've said many times, you are my therapy. Talking on Rocking with Becca is my therapy. I do feel like I need a therapist. You know, I need some input. I need, some medical input. When I say medical, I mean mental, input, help. Not just the physical medication I take, but I need some medical help, some license, however you want to put it, however, trained help that could help me. Maybe have something that they could say to help me. But I'm fearful to step out and get help. I'm fearful, and I don't know how to go about doing that. Don't know where to reach out and where to start. A little embarrassed that I would need therapy, that I would need help. A little bit of wondering if it would be wrong for me to get help, because of all my life, the way it has been taught. And I have battled the statement that my mom has said all my life. I have battled that and wondered, am I going to end up in a mental institution? Am I? And that has added to my mental health. I feel like I've been more open with you today than I've ever been, and I'm really, really a little bit embarrassed. Yeah. So let me just end this part of the video. Let me just end this session of it right here. Let's just go on. I am going to go lay Everly down, and I'm going to show you who I have for Small Doll and Stuffy Saturday. Matter of fact, I may just keep Everly in my arms, and just bring the baby up for Small Doll. Lately, I have really been into my Cabbage Patch dolls. I started out collecting them, and I thought they were adorable, and I went overboard, as I do with all things. And I had so many Cabbage Patch, the little bitty ones, the little fairies, the little animal ones. I had so many that I had every nick and cranny stuck with Cabbage Patch, and so I, I downsized and I only kept a few select ones. Now I'm very, very, very selective with what Cabbage Patch I get. Since I downsized in my Cabbage Patch, um, I have purchased some soft face sculpt ones. I got three of those, four of those. And I don't plan on getting any more of those. I have found that although I love them and they're gorgeous, they're beautiful, I find I like the hard vinyl head ones the most. And so I have purchased a recently a another hard face one. I didn't have one that would take a pacifier, and I really wanted one that would take a pacifier. So on a Facebook group, I came across a lady that was selling some of her Cabbage Patch, and I purchased one from her. I did share her with you. Mm, I can't even remember what I named her now, but I shared her with you. I wished I could remember her name. She's new, so it's going to take me a while to keep her name in mind. This here is Adeline. She was gifted to me several years ago by a Facebook friend named Debbie, and or Deb for short. That's the way she went by, Deb. And we communicated back and forth a few times, and we just kind of drifted apart. But during that time, she gifted me Adeline, and I love her, and she will always be in my collection. But she does not take a pacifier, and I really wanted one. And like I said, I've shared her with you. I think I've shared her on a video. I may not have. I really can't remember if I have. It might have been a short video. I can't remember I know I've shared her on Facebook and Instagram, but I can't remember if I shared her on YouTube. But I bought her a new outfit, and I bought her a pacifier to match it, and it got here, and the pacifier don't fit her. The modern day Cabbage Patch doesn't take um, the same type of pacifier that the vintage Cabbage Patch takes. And the Cabbage Patch that I've recently bought that takes a pacifier is a vintage Cabbage Patch. And she didn't come with a pacifier. Um, but I bought her a whole outfit. I bought her, you know, the shoes don't even fit her well. Uh, the outfit, I bought the shoes, the outfit, and the pacifier all to match, where she would have a matching combo to for me to share her with you with. Well, the pacifier is too thick. It won't go in her mouth, in the hole made for the pacifier. It won't fit. It's too big. Um, the shoes are a little bit too small for her feet. I might could cram them in there. I don't know. But I didn't just try real hard the day I tried to put them on her. Um, but anyway, I've been looking for a vintage pacifier on like eBay and Macari. And whenever you come across one of the vintage Cabbage Patch pacifiers, they like their pacifiers. They like their pacifiers. and it was just more than I wanted to pay for a one pacifier. So, the lady that I actually purchased the Cabbage Patch doll from gave me a link of someone that does the 3D um, scanning, and she does the replacements for the vintage type pacifiers. So I've ordered 3 different colors, and I'm waiting on them to come in. And when they come in, I probably will share that Cabbage Patch with you on a Rockin' with Becca for the small dolls and stuffies. But I have really lately enjoyed my Cabbage Patch. I don't know why. They're not realistic like babies, like the reborns are. But I have just enjoyed them so much. And I wanted to share Adeline with you today. And she's got a beautiful smile. Her face is just a creamy brown color, tan color. And I love her hair. It's not the vintage yarn hair. It's just, the newer modern hair. But I have fell in love with my Cabbage Patch. And look at her little outfit. I don't know that I've ever put this on one of my babies. If I'm not mistaken, I received this in uh, a Happy Mail box from uh, Wren, Bushel and Peck Nursery. I would have her link in the description. Um, she gifted me a bunch of things, and if I'm not mistaken, I may be mistaken because, guys, you know my mind, but I'm thinking this was in one of the boxes that Wren gave me. She sent me a lot of like 15-inch doll clothes and Cabbage Patch doll clothes and things. I'm thinking this was one of the outfits that she gave me. And I don't know. I have felt, see, they didn't have Cabbage Patch when I was a kid. They came out in the 80s, and I was already married by that time. Um, so I didn't, and then I didn't have girls, you know, so I never looked at dolls or anything for my kids because I had 2 boys. And I've just enjoyed them. I'm kind of going back to my second childhood. And I'm kind of just enjoying the fun things that I didn't have as a child. Not, I would have had it, I'm sure, if they'd have been out. I'm sure Mama would have got me one if I wanted it. She did her best to get us things that we wanted. We wasn't rich, but she would save up and try to get us things we wanted. And I'm sure I would have had one if they'd have been out, but I didn't. They wasn't. So I have really, really been enjoying them. And I wanted to share Adeline with you today. And like I said, when the pacifiers come in that I've ordered for the doll that takes pacifiers, I'll be sharing her with you. And yeah. All right, guys. I told you it was going to be a long one. I figured it would be shorter since I told you it was going to be long, but no, that don't work. It works when I say it's going to be short. It's not short, it's long, but it don't work that when I say it's going to be long, that it's short. Hey, Rockin' with Becca is just a long video. I might as well accept it. It's a long video. My coffee has cooled way off. But I'm going to go try to get this video uploaded. And it's late getting up, I know. Because my morning has been all messed up. And out of kilter, out of the sequence it usually goes in. And so anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I hope I haven't bored y'all too much with my video today. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I want to say thank you so much for stopping by my channel. It's a great support and help to my channel when you watch my videos all the way through. And every time you hit that like button, it helps my channel. When you comment, it helps my channel. And I really appreciate each one of you that come by and spend time with me, because you are my therapy. You are my friends. And when I'm really feeling down and out, if I can come on here and talk a little bit, it does help me. And that's why I feel like if I had a therapist, it would help me that much more. But anyway, that's all neither here nor there. But I'm going to let you all go. I hope you have a great Labor Day weekend. Am I right? I get it mixed up. Which one's Labor Day? Which one's Memorial Day? I think it's Labor Day. I may be mistaken, but I think it's Labor Day. But I hope y'all all have a enjoyable and safe weekend and holiday, and I hope you all will come back and see me. Hope I didn't run you off. All right, guys. I will have all the links in either the titles or the description, wherever I can get them. And I hope you all have a great day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.